Alright, where's my chat? Okay, hi guys. I'm back. Let me catch up on the chat I missed. I also gotta retitle this stuff. Okay. What is the Zerg map we must destroy from this temple? What the editor's review is as... Okay. The ones in the dried river constantly push forward, and... Okay. Yeah, so that's what I just wanted to make sure I wasn't... Wanted to make sure I wasn't misconstruing anything, but it looks like I got all of the message. I thought my phone obscured some of it. Each Protoss space has a general who will spawn special attack waves based off of the amount of Protoss deaths. Okay, that's pretty cool to like have a retaliation effect when you get a certain point. Maybe someday you and your friends will make a StarCraft Remastered mod. That's what this map is for, actually. We're making an overhaul of the 6 StarCraft 1 campaigns, starting with Rebel Yell, the Terran campaign. This is the 9th mission out of 10. The 4th map is still under development. The 7th map we haven't started on yet, and the 10th map we haven't started on yet. But aside from those 3 and this map, so 6 out of 10 maps are done. Just need some final testing, basically, if anything at all. And then 4 maps are still in development, so Mapcraft has sort of made me wait before I start working on it as heavily and as frequently as I was before, but presumably we should be able to produce most of the work before the end of the year. So the first campaign will definitely come out this year, probably before Christmas, maybe at the beginning of December, so a few weeks. And then I think after that we might take a break. I have to work on my brother's birthday project, which is going to be 6 maps, and it's going to be its own cooperative campaign. But that won't be remastered. That'll be 1.16.1. Aside from that, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen that far down the road. Obviously, I have to juggle work and a bunch of other stuff. No, CR12, I wasn't joking. I was actually asking about you. I was asking what you were up to. But you left me all alone with a bunch of scary men, one of whom thought I was into horse stuff. Was it the question about the Oh, the Cerebrit GRP / LOF files are for when you had the Cerebrit build units, right? Yes. That was because I... What? No, maybe? No, Cerebrat.grp is not Cerebrit. Cerebrat is Evolution Chamber, I think. They're named really dumb names. There is no Cerebrit graphic in that. I think Cerebrit is... What is Cerebrit called? Who knows? Yo, you're back, yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking, I responded to what you wrote there. I don't know if you heard me. I was just talking about, like, how it was cool that you had a system where, as the player would do, like, would progress forward, sometimes shit would, I don't know, just having the AI battle your allied AI is a good idea, I think. Because it has that large-scale battle thing going on, where stuff that you're not directly interacting with immediately is happening, and that increases the scale of the conflict, so I like that. But the special attack waves for you, I think, also makes it more interactive, since obviously you have to deal with that. So sounds like a pretty decent idea. But yeah, Vorgoz's Cerebrat.grp is something else. Let me find it in my list here. Building Zerg. Yeah, Cerebrit is ucerib.grp. Creep Colony is Fungal Colony. Evolution. Yeah, Evolution Chamber is Cerebrat. You're welcome, Alex. Yeah, that's nothing. I think the Ultralisk Cavern is called R. Yeah, it's R cluster, because it was originally like radioactive cluster or something, radiation cluster. Sunken Colony is called Lurker. That's not confusing. Spawning Pool is called Crystal. You missed the store stream. What a comment. Magnate's melee attack isn't a new graphic. It's been in the game for a while. I think it's the Guardian attack overlay, and I just attached it to the Defiler. So it's not new. Yeah, everything here should be general purpose. I made it so that I would be able to make mods on 1.16.1 easier just by starting from this framework, hence the title. So those should nothing from Inconsummate that was specific to Inconsummate's like story or whatever or mechanics should be there. Like none of its icons. I don't think any custom spell effects existed, so... Okay. I should probably start placing some fucking ramps over here, guys. This is some creepy music. Did you edit the... Oh! The Framework EXE has an unnecessary plugin in it. So if you open it up in Firegraft and then remove the VX4EX expander, or VX4 expander, I think that's what it's called. So just delete that. Remove that plugin from the mod, basically. That's for when I have my custom terrain, like custom tile sets imported in it. And by the nature of the plugin, it'll just crash if it doesn't detect the right ones, because the guy who made it didn't put a failsafe in. The plugin that's in there that says a small limit plugin removes the tooltip limit, the tooltip text length limit. Or it's like a string limit for buttons, so it removes that. It removes the sprite limit and the bullet limit. I think that's all. Oh, and there's a limit with colors, with player colors, that if you edit tunit.pcx or tminimap.pcx, the extra stuff wouldn't show in-game. So the colors that are extended colors in SEM draft, those ones, any color past green wouldn't show by default, so this plugin also fixes that. So it will draw those colors correctly. Otherwise, that plugin doesn't do anything else. But it should raise sprites and etc. pretty well. I had to use GPTP for a bunch of stuff, so that's why I wasn't just going to use Neve's and real limitless plugin, because he had a really good one set up at some point. Sure. It'll make Valkyries actually usable in large-scale macro missions. Though I don't really remember if there was ever really a big issue with that in the past. for Insurrection. I figure some of those maps must be pretty large. Oh, there's more cops. Thankfully, we don't have many police problems in my state. Massachusetts is pretty... well... I don't live in a particularly wealthy area. But even in my area, there's not really a whole lot of crime. A lot of cop cars drive by this area, though, because I live on a main road, basically, so... Yeah, Vorgos, that was fucking incredible when the Blizzard developer said, should we even remove this limit that breaks our game? Ha! Oh, man. I know it, like, some people think it's just trendy to hate on Blizzard, or to quote-unquote hate on Blizzard. But I think it's perfectly warranted, honestly, to be critical of them. You know, you don't want to just blindly hate anybody for no reason. You want to have reasons for your dislike of them. But it's pretty easy to see what the fuck people are upset about, I think. I don't think anybody's like... There are some things that are reasonable expectations of companies. And then there are expectations that aren't so reasonable. I don't think that a lot of the sort of detractors of Blizzard are unreasonable in their sort of, whatever, in their anger, or however you would call it. I don't think there's really a leg for Blizzard to stand on in terms of their business practices. Or, well, less broadly than that, just the way that they've designed games. I feel like they've been pretty lazy. Well, they also just don't, like... Okay. Blizzard genuinely doesn't know what the fuck goes on with their games on the custom content level, and they will never know what goes on there because they don't care, because it's not in their business interests to care. And I'm okay with that. I think that at this point, it's been made very abundantly clear that wanting Blizzard to be directly involved, or any big company to be directly involved with a game's custom content, it's modding, is not only a pipe dream, but it probably actively leads to negative situations. Like, it's probably not a good thing when it does happen. In general, I don't think it's been a source for positive change. Because they try to control it, they try to make money off of it. And that's not what I mean, the fucking developers that make really great stuff, and even the people who don't make great stuff, but still make stuff, those kind of people won't suddenly stop being interested in making stuff just because, oh, it doesn't make them money. And you're attracting the wrong kind of person, I think, for a creative sort of enterprise if their goal is to just make money off of something. At least in my estimation, that is what has that's like why that pay to buy a mod thing on Steam was so disastrous. Yeah, CR12, I was streaming literally as soon as you messaged me, messaged about that. I did that stream. I streamed like 2 minutes after that. But welcome. I guess so. I was even talking. I was like, "Oh, what's up, CR12? How you doing?" And then you left me again. You're just gone. That was it. It was the end of CR12 as we know it. Fare thee well. I probably should have said something in the Discord, I guess, huh? I figured you were just in the chat anyways. What were we talking about? How Blizzard fucks everything up or something? I think, it's unfortunate that more people aren't aware of custom content, but I also think it's naive to expect Blizzard themselves to be aware of it. There's no money in it, so I don't think their business interests would really allow them to be aware of it. I have no idea how this is going to look on remastered. It'll probably just be... probably just fucked up and broken. Or something. Okay. Well, I've connected the fucking lines now. We have a bit more stuff going on. than we had before. This is gonna be tricky. Should be doable though. I messed up a bit there. You're gonna have to be a little more specific. It's not done. I have to do a lot of small tweaks to this afterwards, and it might not even end up working, so we'll see where it goes. My pastry friend. Wait, what the fuck? Oh. That's why. One of the corners is doubled. Ah, I see. Thank. What? Hold on. I have to fire myself. Oh, it was doubled the other way. I should not have chosen such relaxing music. have this feeling I'm going to be using a lot of sprites in this area. Todd-tastic. That's a word I never thought I would hear. What a sound. Holy shit, trying to piece this together is very challenging for some reason. This is what I mean when I said it might not even work anyways. I have no idea what I'm doing. Some pool or something. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, man. Whatever it is, I fucked it up pretty massively. Well, time to pave it over. I used a lot of, like, asphalt water blends in other areas, so I want to keep using them. I just have no idea how the fuck to incorporate whatever I was trying to do there was definitely not accurate. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah, they fly their boats over and park them. Not a bad idea, to be honest. This should probably actually be like a strip area, like a strip area, like a landing strip. Oh, I know what I'll do here. Rest in peace. Agreed. Alright, I'm too lazy to make this shit from scratch, so I'm just gonna copy from an old map. What the fuck? Oh, it's probably still in my fucking Google Drive instead of in my folders. Behold, my true father. He's a scary looking feller. Got all this asphalt and stuff. Does it fix this fucking retarded tank issue? Wait. I have two versions of 0901. Apparently. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, it's this infuriating piece of shit stuff again. Okay. Oh wait, no, I need the other way. Fuck. There we go. Wait. Never mind. Ignore me. This is the store. I'm making my own store. I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. Oops. Unfortunately, it doesn't behave like high ground, but... oh well. I think we're good. Okay. Welcome to 7-Eleven. May I take your order? Todd's Guns. LOL. Oops. I guess I can't do that. This map, it's a campaign map I had going on a while ago. It's for a comedic project. Eventually I'll make use of it. It's a complete cityscape, basically. Although it's a little too cramped for my liking. I wrote XD. I $350'd myself. See? This was going to be your main base. And then you're going to be able to rescue allied blue bases that were like holding out against the... oh wait, no, the blue bases were also hostile. But there was like a base area that you could rescue up here that was going to be like an AI ally or something. You had to fight the brown and blue Terrans that were trying to take over the city. I forget what the side disruptor was going to be. I didn't have a lot of documentation for it. Hex D, thanks for this. I should add that XD somewhere, actually. Hold on, let me open that map back up. Where is that XD? Fucking no! That was not what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Where am I gonna put this? This has to be where Ahmed is on this map. I don't know, I'll just leave it here until I decide what I'm gonna do with it. At least I know where it is. Okay. Members of my chat finding other members of my chat because they XD'd. My dream has come true. Eventually I won't have the flu. Then my dream really will come true. Okay. So you'll have like a set of stuff on here. Can I make this extended at all? Probably not, right? Not without it looking really dumb. Yeah. If I were a really popular streamer, I could probably get people to do $350 super chats where they just say XD. That would be my real dream come true. People just sent me $350 so that we could say XD. It's their XD allowance. A much more reasonable approach would be to have them pay $3.50 per XD. I'm sure everybody agrees that that is far more understandable. Oh no, I'm being kept in suspense. Does the Arbiter just recall a bunch of units to kill you? I haven't seen anybody really attempt that. Well, I probably have seen it and just forgot about it. Wow. Well, as long as the player is able to, like, interact with it and destroy the Arbiter before it gets there, I don't see a problem with that, honestly. That way, if they're just lazy and they don't keep watch or whatever, you can punish them for that. Nice. Yeah, as long as they can do that, then I see no problem with it. The 350 XD fine is paid in J-Bucks. Well, buying J-Bucks supports Jay Pr0nogo's channel, so I'm fine with that. Why don't more people suicide on stream? That's the real question. I mean, if you've just given up, I figure you might as well do something crazy. Crazy and kooky. Check me out, guys. I'm on Instagram. Just say, hi guys, my name is Jay Pr0nogo. Here we go, we got... What did I just do? Oh, probably nothing. Pie Ice was for ice script. It's a dumb name for it. It's only called that because Ice CC was the first tool for it. It's not really a logical name for it. So I think I'm going to put the player's base around here, where their start location is. There will be an expansion they can take over here that the Pr0nogo will probably attack pretty frequently, because the Pr0nogo will be... Wow, that was pretty good. Pr0nogo will be where this big asphalt complex is. There'll be another Pr0nogo base where this stuff is over here. So there's like two main Pr0nogo bases. I don't know if there's the functionality to do that. You can manually copy and paste entries that are from... that you know are modified from yours, like... whatever graphic you're using for Tsunami's turret, I think you said you were using, like, Alexei Stukov and something else, so whatever graphics those units use in your units.dat file, you can find their entry in iScript and copy that into the new one. There's an AI script that you do in triggers. You run an AI script called "turn on shared vision for player number whatever," and you run it for the human player. And you turn on shared vision for whatever players. Like, if the AI is player 3, then and the human player is player 1, then in player 1's triggers, you would run turn on shared vision for player 3 in the run AI script trigger action. And that would solve the problem. Oh, you can't use that in Starlet? That's crazy. It doesn't share vision by default, even if you have the option ticked, since the game only automatically enables that alliance setting for human players. Does nothing for AI. In computer AI also won't share vision by default unless you add it to their AI script via modding or run them through the triggers. So if you have, like, for example, 3 different AI on the same force and you want them all to share vision of each other, you have to do it manually. led to some interesting circumstances where we had like cloaked units attacking some of the AIs in the co-op maps, and we were wondering why each AI had to scan independently until we figured it out. Obviously didn't take long after looking at that data. Well, I can find out right now. Don't make that sound. Wow, this user interface, man. These are the AI scripts you can run in Star Edit? That's it? That can't be right. Is this really the only... Maybe if you do run AI script at location? Holy shit, you can run nothing. What the fuck? You have access to literally nothing. What a disaster. Hey, DK. How's it hanging? Whoa! We have liftoff. Let's turn that fucking volume down. Holy shit. Yeah, even in... Okay, so you want a comparison. In SCM draft... What the fuck? You can run these scripts. This many scripts. So, you'd have to download SCM draft and find, like, this one. And it would say turn on shared vision of player 3. And just give that trigger to the human player. I'll post the link for SCM draft in the chat as soon as I find it. But yeah, it's a disaster, I guess. Moral of the story, don't use Star Edit. You can just sort by name. I mean, category selections would be fantastic if the option was there, but I don't even know how you would go about coding that in for SCM draft. I don't know if there are limitations to presenting that stuff. But I don't think it's a huge turnoff for people who are... Like, SCM draft has a lot of extra options compared to the default editor. I don't think the AI script selection would be hugely... Like, I don't think that would be the straw that breaks the camel's back, I guess is what I'm saying. I forget, CR12, are you actually working on Brood War stuff, or have you just played around in the editor before? Did I already like this video? Okay. If I do ever decide to make a 1.16.1 only version of this mod for the co-op stuff, it'll probably include all of my custom doodads at that point, but it's a lot of extra work for not a whole lot of extra gain. The fuck? Guess I'll come back to that later. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the top Protoss base yet. Anybody read any good books lately? I've been looking for book recommendations for a while. Only thing I've read recently was I'm starting to read Milo's Dangerous. Well, the book is called Dangerous and the author is Milo Yiannopoulos. People might think that there's a book called Milo is Dangerous. That would be a funny book. Probably exists somewhere. The Silver Eyes lol. You can play me now. What are the Silver Eyes? El ingenioso hidalgo, Don Quijote de la Mancha. Why would Five Nights at Freddy's have a book? I thought all of its fans were 12. I didn't think 12-year-olds read. Ingenioso. Is that how you say that? I always read Spanish words and like... I read Spanish, obviously I mispronounce everything in it, but when I do read Spanish, I think I read like really overdramatically, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Anytime I see a J, I figure it's an H. Otherwise, I would probably sound like the biggest retard. If I said Quixote or Quijote. That would be how you'd pronounce that if you had no idea what Spanish was like, I guess. It's pretty funny. This is some pretty banging music, man. Ah, shit. I hit control instead of shift. Ah, shit. Dude. I probably should have taken Spanish instead of French. All I can say in French is like gay shit to try and get women to talk to me. Mon petit chouchou, mon passion pour toi est fait chaud avec un mille de soleil. And it's probably not even right. A French woman would probably be like, "You silly American, go back to school." Or I guess I would have to say that in my Devro voice from the Phoenix. Oh, I don't even know what was my Devro voice. Lehman's here. That's it. That's all I know. I gotta move my XD. Here, it'll go here, I guess, for now. Asian languages are pretty difficult to learn. I was trying to learn Korean a while ago, and it was going pretty well, and then I just forgot to keep learning it, and then like 2 weeks later I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to learn Korean. That's something that I don't know where I got it from, but I am an incredibly undisciplined person and will just forget things that I'm supposed to do until like 3 weeks after the fact sometimes. Like, obviously not basic shit like, I gotta go to work today. Like, that won't happen. Or I gotta go to school back when I was going to school. But like, I wouldn't forget, like, appointments that I had. But if it was just something I wanted to do, or something I was making a point to accomplish or whatever, yeah, that would just happen. I would just, like, just forget to do it. I don't know, man. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Wow, this guy's really speaking to me right now. I don't know if it's because I have the volume low, but this sounds Pro Tooled as fuck. Or not Pro Tooled, but it definitely sounds produced, I guess. More than I'm used to from metal. I could just be talking out of my ass, though. I haven't really actively listened to a lot of extreme metal in a while. Mostly just because I forgot to. Again. It's topical, man. I used to be really into that stuff. I'm still partial to it. Repair race extraction. I wasn't aware that it was bugged. I think it's fixed in one of in the plugin that Necron uses for his map. Oh wait, I don't know. Maybe he didn't even use that, for all I remember. I guess I could ask around and see if anybody knows of any fixes, but I at least am not aware of anything. In fact, I'll send somebody a private message right now. Just for you. Why do I have so much shit open? Private message. Isn't that a crazy, outmoded Term. You don't really see that too often. Private message. What is the problem with the EXE? Does it just not work? Wargaz? Once you message me, I'll forward it to that guy. Fuck yeah. I should have an answer tomorrow at some point. Well, I already sent the PM. It's repair race restriction exe edit. Oh. I'm sure he'll understand what I mean. If not, I can clarify when I get a response from him. Well, if you give them a high supply count and decent mineral costs, I don't think they'll be super overpowered. You could probably place a special building that can't be built normally, like how I did with Inconsummate's 5th map with Tuzor, and then the player won't be able to mass produce them anyways, so they'll still be special. Unless they're only buildable by AI, and then you're asking if the player would be too frustrated as a result. Maybe they would. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Since you're making it 1.16.1 only, do you need custom graphics for anything? Like a new building or a new unit or something? Obviously it wasn't there in default Insurrection, but if it's like something like a new hero unit or a new special mercenary unit or whatever, like this new Dresden Elite Guard stuff, it could stand to have some different graphics, you know? Right. That's fine. Goliaths are pretty obnoxious to try and replace, as you found out with the whole turreted unit thing. But for, like, the hero vulture for Sarge, he can have his own graphic if you wanted. I could probably, like, add something to the vulture so that it would look more badass in some capacity. Whoa! SCM draft. Calm down. Well, they will be two different players, so they'll only rebuild in their own respective areas, and they won't have large base areas. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Guy's got some fucking air in his head. You know what I'm saying? Some air in his head. Men in his lungs, but whatever. I wonder if Pr0nogo gets unnerved or, like... I would find it exceptionally awkward if a bunch of people who... Especially people who don't, like, fully speak English, because then it's harder to, like, communicate with them and to gauge what they're doing, you know? Just made a bunch of campaigns where I was involved as, like, a character, as, like, a big part of the story. I don't know, man. That seems a little sycophantic in a way that would probably make me a little uncomfortable. Like, obviously, depending on what, you know, how frequent it is and what the context is, it could be fine, sure. But as a general rule, that would probably skeeve me out a little bit, maybe. I don't know. It obviously hasn't happened yet, so I don't know how I would feel. But that happens to Pr0nogo all the time. Like, in VastNX's Mapcraft submission, there's a character named Pr0nogo that you play as in the entire fucking map. And he's a character in Mapsters, which was by Masked Imposter. He's actually like 3 different characters or something, because there's like an evil clone of him or something, and then there's a good version of him that was the real version. Pancho, God. I don't know. I'm not trying to call anybody specific out. I just mean, like, Mapsters was specifically like a concept campaign about the site StarCraft 2 Mapster. So it makes sense to include Pr0nogo there since you're already including a bunch of other people. So I take less issue with that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems a little odd, is all I'm saying. Yeah, exactly, CR12. I just feel like it is kind of creepy more often than not. That might just be my own fucking head. My own, you know, personal mental illness or something, but seems pretty crazy to me. A fan favorite. Fans love me. I don't know how I'm going to draw a design around that. That's fine. Doesn't have to. How are your campaigns going, DK? Are you still working on... last I heard, I thought you were working on one of them. Or maybe you were just working on a recording of them. Okay. That XD won't be there after a while. It's just there temporarily. I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. Don't worry. When Impending Doom is done, let me know and I'll do a playthrough of it after whatever Brood War project I'm working on playing through at that point is done. Right now I'm on the Phoenix. That'll be probably a good month from now before I'm done with that. Or maybe not. Maybe it's like 2-3 weeks. I don't know. It's 2 videos per week. And there's 25 maps, but some of them are cutscenes. So I don't know. We're on level 5 for Tuesday this week. The $350 that one. That is a get rich quick scheme, I think. Just have everybody, just have like a bot that perpetually opens up the map and then closes it and opens it up again. I recorded the Frozen Throne campaign, but it's unlisted. They're in a playlist, which is publicly available if you go to the playlist section of my channel. But I kept them unlisted because I was pretty politically incorrect about a lot of things, and a lot of people don't mind that. But since I was starting to showcase videos for a more public audience, I didn't want to, like, open myself up to having a lot of goofball criticism of people who were just not aware of my sense of humor, I guess. Or disagreed with it, or whatever. It's probably a silly thing to do, but it's already done now. And if I started publicizing all of the videos, it would be... I think it's like something crazy, like 17 videos or something long. I have a document somewhere that has all of my Let's Play videos. Where is it? Yeah, I don't archive those, I don't think. What do we have? Holy shit. Yeah, there's 18 videos in this playlist. So, there you go. In case you were wondering. Some of them are probably fine. In fact, I would probably wager a guess that most of them are fine. I'm definitely not publicizing the Red Alert 3 videos, though, because I get very angry in those videos. Hey man, fucking Mental Jim Raynor was a masterpiece. I don't really remember I might have to go back over those videos and watch some of them or most of them and put them up anyways. Just based on what I find out about them, but I'll probably just set them to public and hope... Can I not put them in my subscriber feed? Like, can I not put those videos in people's subscriber feeds if I just put them to public? Yeah, fucking mentioned Jim Raynor was mixed pretty well. I hope you, Tame Boss, can get me those clips of all of the Blizzard characters saying Todd. I already have StarCraft 2 Zeratul, but people could mistake him for like some random guy that I got to speak into a cup. Because he sounds nothing like Brood War Zeratul. I don't know how they fucked that up, by the way. How did they make it so that the... Like, I understand the guy was dead, right? The guy who voice acted Zeratul originally, he's gone. He's in a better place, away from a world where StarCraft 2 exists. But come on! At least try to be faithful to the character. You know, there was actually a world that Metzen was gunning for, where the voice actor for Raynor was not going to be Robert Clotworthy, who voice acted him in Brood War. He actually was thinking, he's like, oh, I really liked this other guy that we had that was going to do a more classic Texan approach to the voice. I was really, I was kind of disappointed we didn't go with him, but then I was like, thank fucking God they didn't go with that. Holy shit. Well, Zeratul also is much like Nova. Zeratul's voice sounds completely different between Wings of Liberty and Legacy of the Void. Like, if you listen to his stuff in Wings of Liberty, he's like... The editing is completely different. They use completely different modulation on his voice. And the acting direction appears to be completely different as well. I'm gonna be the hick that kills you someday. You hear me? I'm a total fucking country boy. I do what I do because I'm a total fucking country boy. They call me Bo Rayner. What's your name? I'll be tipping my hat at you, my lady. I'll be seeing y'all. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that fucking pissed me off! Why did Stukov sound like me? Okay, I had a character called Wrecked Sun in a comedy campaign that was incredibly racist and offensive. And Wrecked Sun was a Russian lurker. And his voice is like the laziest Russian voice you could possibly have. It's literally like, "Don't be Russian me." That's a line. That's like a talk boy in my pocket. Like, that's exactly what Wrecked Sun sounds like. My turn, da? That's him. Okay? But that's also Stukov. That's exactly what Stukov sounds like, too. Ah, yes, my name is Stukov, yes. Vodka and matroshka, you know what I'm saying? Das vidanya. Don't get any anya. Yeah. Let my death have some meaning. Well, it's like Blizzard tried to copy the fucking... Again, it all leads back to Red Alert 3, the most evil of evils. Where they had fucking... Welcome to glorious Soviet Union, where we train dogs for the premiere. We are dogs. This is Dog Army. This is Dog Union. That's what they went for with Stukov. Just a little bit more edgy. Like, come on. He actually says, "I like vodka" in one of his pissed lines. Like, one of the lines that you click, his annoyed unit responses when you keep clicking on him. He's like, "There are some things I miss about the Earth, like vodka." Or something like that. Yeah, well, my Red Alert 3 Let's Play, like I mentioned earlier, like 5 minutes ago, I get very angry in it. I'll put it that way. If you don't mind me screaming a lot of, again, politically incorrect things, you can go and check it out. Well, maybe I might have privated all those videos, actually, but whatever. What a lunatic! That was like one of the only genuinely funny, one of the only intentionally funny moments of that entire game was when he said that. But I think at that point, instead of laughing, I just screamed because I was so angry. At that point, that mission really made me angry too, on top of it, because it, like, was the most infuriating thing. Let's just say it makes me pretty upset. Oh yeah, I need forges here. Forge here? Rolling, rolling, rolling. Ready to roll. My Halo Wars LP has quite a bit of smash related to that. Guy just would not stop saying rolling. What the fuck? He needs to roll himself into a... He needs to roll a joint and calm the fuck down. That's what he needs to do. I'm really glad that the latest editions of some Ace, the remastered modding tool, allows Firegraft stuff, because otherwise we would be in a shitty position where we wouldn't be able to change tech requirements. Oh, I probably need an assimilator. I guess I can put that up here. Like, there's a big problem with tech requirements, not... Like, default Blizzard tech requirements are just fucked, basically. Wait, who's meant to be German? Oh, the Valkyrie. I don't really ever... I never really... I just attributed her as, like, generic foreigner. So, yeah. Wasn't very effective, I guess. I never could understand the High Templar sound files until I read what they were supposed to be saying on the StarCraft wiki. Like, for the longest time, I thought they were just... Well, they were speaking another language, literally, when you train them, and they say Cassar de Templari. But I thought that they were saying, like... Some... Like... It sounded more like Assar de Ten Templari or something. I don't know. I don't know what it sounds like. It sounds like gibberish. And I guess it is technically, but... It's still unexpected. Yeah, I'm not throwing shade at Blizzard for the unit responses for the Protoss. I think the Protoss are pretty unique. Like, the Protoss and Zerg unit responses are incredibly characterized. Like, they characterize the races as very alien. Now, I think a lot of the Zerg characterization was undone when they infested Kerrigan and they humanized a lot of the Swarm through their presentation of Cerebrits, but up until that, there was a lot to like about what they were doing, I think. Yeah, why are they farts in StarCraft 2? That's like all the Infestor is. Why does the dropship have a male voice in Spanish? It's important we remind ourselves of history's worst mistakes. Hey, CR12, are you actually making stuff in Brood War? I know you were playing around with the 12 Days of Christmas shit for research purposes, I believe. But you've been around for a while. I figure maybe you've made some made a thing or two before. I'm thinking about a different approach for this map than I initially expected. One of the things that I've set out to do when I design these co-op maps is to make it so that the AI, or the players, basically, like, each player has a unique experience. And I don't just mean in the, like, technically true sense, where, well, you start in different locations, but, like, you actually have to deal with different threats. And I want to make an effort to design missions that provide, like, replay value by virtue of, even if you're playing with the same person, in the third Terran map, you can decide, well, this mission, I want to be on the, I want to go on the offensive in this try, but the next time I play, I'm going to play the defensive variety, or whatever. Well, if you ever want to change that, of course, let all three of the guys here know. You, myself, Jay, Deltron. We'll play your stuff. Well, at least I have no compunctions against playing stuff, even if it's like rough draft or whatever. Always interested in seeing more Brood War stuff. But yeah, the issue, I think, with one of the main issues, one of the many issues with a lot of the other attempts at creating a co-op version of the Brood War campaigns, in my estimation, was that people would just, like, slap an extra base together and call it done. And they'd be like, oh, here you go, here's the players, like, here's a good example. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the right one. The first Terran mission, you both start out with the same amount of units, and the same kinds of units, same composition. And then you both have a base, and you, like, it's literally just duplicating the experience for the other player. Instead of making something new for each player to experience, which I think is, like, a huge missed opportunity. In general. I don't know what you guys think of that, but to me, I would always rather see people, like, try and design something brand new. Like, we've played Brood War day in, day out, time and time again. There's been so many times we've played this stuff. I say, figure something out. If you're gonna go revisit the original concepts or whatever, try and do something new with it. Like, I wasn't sure if Jay Pr0nogo and Deltron would be interested in playing the co-op version if it were drastically different than the base campaign. But they were like, no, we've played this game like 20 times before, so something that would be brand new would be exciting. And that's what I thought as well, so it seems like it's a fairly common notion, actually. I think having... Well, it's interesting you bring that up, Hoopthrower. There's, yeah, like, there's ways you can mess around with that stuff. Like, in the 8th Terran map, the Big Push, where you control Duke, the way that you play out this mission in the co-op, the co-op mode right now, is like, I'll just open it up. First of all, it's been changed pretty heavily. It's been expanded downward. And we got rid of the whole add-on tutorial thing, since it's not necessary. But one of the things that we did was we made one player not have access to Wraiths or battlecruisers, and the other player not have access to siege tanks and Goliaths. So one player is specialized towards air, and the other player is specialized towards ground. And we mitigated some of the tech tree issues where, like, oh, you'd need a factory to build an armory by making the starport an alternative requirement for the armory, so that the battlecruiser player could build an armory early on. And you might say, well, this is like a gimmick to, you know, it's just randomly, for no real reason, like lore reason or whatever. There's not really any justification to separate the tech tree that way. But I think it, again, it adds, like, the bases are pretty close together. So you can't just say, oh, let's move one player to another side of the map so they have to deal with different threats. But we need to come up with some way to make the gameplay engaging and different for each player. And that was the solution. Or one of the solutions, one of the ways that we accomplished that. So it's not really like a huge deal, but that's like an example of something that we put together. And it's also something that's unique to the co-op version. If we make like a single player version of this stuff, obviously a lot of these maps will have to be scaled back. Oh, don't mind this mess. Let me tell you, it's 3-player co-op. First player could only build and get SCVs. Second player could only control infantry. That's funny. That's sort of like an advanced take on the stuff that we were doing for the first and second missions of the Terran campaign of this co-op mode, where the first player would macro and the second player would gain control of all Marines, all infantry units that the macro player built. It only works on it works on very small scales. We need some plugins that we can't enable in patch 1.20 or in remastered in order to have the players share tech and upgrades and supply. So until those get moved to remastered, we wouldn't be able to do that for like larger scale missions or whatever. But yeah, macro-micro maps are pretty neat, I think. It's a different kind of mission. It's like Archon mode, but separated more clearly. Anyways, I think that it's really funny to try and land buildings, like, to force the AI to land their structures, you have to order it to construct add-ons. Well, the barracks doesn't have an add-on, so we had to we had to convert the side disruptor into a structure that was visually the same as a comsat station, add it into the barracks as an add-on, and then remove any units at the location where the add-on would be constructed as soon as the barracks landed on the ground. Because the barracks would start to build it, but obviously we can't just add an add-on and have it be building an add-on for the cutscenes. It's just really bizarre workaround to make the barracks land in a cutscene. It's pretty ridiculous. But that's what we did. And it works. It works out fine. That'll be a pretty interesting map to put together. Changing the smallest thing will also just completely destabilize that. Like, if you change one... Like, if you add a doodad somewhere, it'll probably just break the fucking... the setup. Brood Wars set... Brood Wars version... Brood Wars 3 campaigns will have a separate mod. We were going to run out of space in the AI script file if we tried to combine both of them anyways. That's been fixed as well. That was what I was talking about, where the AI will just fuck up and break sometimes. So we fixed that as well. It did take some pretty retarded nonsense to fix, but we accomplished it. We have a really interesting idea for that Psi Disruptor map. That, the second Zerg mission. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it so that one player commands the raiders, and the opening cutscene is an actual, like, mission objective. I think that's probably what we're going to do. And basically, the Psi Disruptor will turn, like, some or maybe even all of the Zerg players' units to neutral for a short period of time every so often. And they'll have to use the Psi emitter to recover them. We're going to find a way to make it not infuriating, obviously. But that's the basic idea. And obviously the Terran player, the Raiders player, will be focusing on destroying series of power generators. Like multiple groups of power generators, like the opening cutscene had, except that'll be like a persistent mechanic throughout the map. And doing so will delay the Psi Disruptor's activation, and eventually when all of them are dead, the Psi Disruptor won't be able to do that anymore, and then you'll just have to destroy the Psi Disruptor itself. So maybe we'll make it so that the Terran player is macro and the Zerg player is micro until the Psi Disruptor's generators are destroyed, and then the Zerg player can start macroing. But we're not really sure how we're going to do it yet. It's still obviously in development. That's so far away that we haven't revisited the idea much further. But I'm very hesitant to go forward with any plan that would involve, like, making one player not be able to play the game, basically. Obviously, that's not what we want. Yeah. Larger map size will definitely be needed for that one. Gonna make the players be different races around that set of missions. Yes, Phoenix will probably be commanded by a Protoss player, and Kerrigan will probably be on the surface in the Kelmorian mission. We also have a set of AI script commands that were actually in the default game. Like, I don't know why Blizzard never used them. But Blizzard never used, like, 80% of the commands in the AI. Where we can actually have the AI detect enemy resources, and then once you bank, like, 2,000 minerals towards your 10,000 goal, then the AI will start attacking you aggressively or something. Or like that will cause the AI to add 3 Goliaths to its next attack wave or something. You know, we don't know how exactly it's going to work, but that is a basic idea or example of how it could go. One thing I have learned in my trials, as I've learned more and more about the way that Brood War uses its AI, is I'm a lot more cautious when I place units, that like pre-place units for the AI, because they turn into guards, which the AI will, like, if they use these units for an attack, like say there's an attack that adds 4 zealots, and they take hold on. These 4 zealots get used for this attack. Well, the AI, since they're pre-placed here, the AI will just replace the zealots and move them to this exact spot once they have nothing else to do. And this is true for all AI that build units and have pre-placed units. So when you pre-place a unit, it becomes a guard, and the AI will always try and move their stuff that way. So you can sort of arrange them in aesthetically pleasing layouts, and also put them where strategically they would be in good spots to respond to attacks, and that in general will make them just used pretty effectively while also looking pretty organic. Hey, nice job, Alex. It sounds like you're working pretty fast. Don't have out Templar archives for these guys. Oh wait, no, we do. These guys can have high Templar. Units created by triggers at the start of the game. I think if the AI script doesn't run until after those units are created, I think they are still used as guards. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. All units that the AI has, the AI player has, before, like all units the AI player commands, right before the script runs, should be turned into guards. And the locations of those guards are saved until the guard unit is killed 3 times. The guard unit is also no longer considered a guard unit when it turns into a unit that's used for attacks. So, for example, if I wanted this Dragoon to sit here, the AI would move the Dragoon over here once it replaced the guard unit, 3 times, well, up to 3 times after the Dragoon was killed, while it was sitting here. If the unit is used for defense, or added to an attack wave, it's no longer considered a guard. So, that wouldn't count towards the max number of times the AI will replace it, basically. The AI won't always ignore its pre-placed units. If you, for example, had them be permanently supply blocked, like they had 230 supply, or they had max supply but they couldn't build pylons because they had no probes, or you disabled pylons for them, they would just start taking units away from their retinue, from their, like, pre-placed areas, from the guards, and then replace them as they could. I should probably place a robotics facility for transporting. Good night, Hoop Thrower. I'm gonna head to bed myself pretty soon. How long is left in this album? Oh, that's a long time. Yeah, I got work in the morning, so I am gonna call it for now. Right now, I think I have... How many videos do I have prepared? I think I just have 2. So I need... when I come home from work, I'm gonna have to record Falling Boulder by yet another YouTuber. Yeah, you and me both, Stratos. Alright, have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna see you guys, I think I'll be streaming 2 times a week this coming week, instead of just once this week. So... I'll catch you guys probably Monday and Thursday, but not sure yet. And I'll start 7 p.m. Eastern, most likely. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.